So most closers make like 3 to 10K up and down all the time, usually like massively inconsistent. For you, when you look at people you've coached that made like 20, 30, 40, 50K a month consistently versus people who kind of got stuck there, what do you feel like are some of the biggest differences that you've seen that was common between all of those people who've actually, made it?
I would say number one is just viewpoint on their sales career. They got really clear that they were going down like one of two paths. That they wanted to be in sales for a long time, like for the rest of their life, they just wanted to be in sales. They love the art of closing deals. They love talking to people. They love the transformation, the life change, and they love the lucrative freedom that comes with sales. Number two mindset is that they wanted to get out of sales, and they knew that they wanted to do that because they had some other passion they really wanted. So that's the first thing, is the mindset, viewpoint on sales. Number two, I would say, is a systemized mindset. So somebody who thinks systematically, not just taking the call in front of them, but actually viewing their pipeline, their CRM, their job as a full system, rather than just, like I said, taking whatever ends up landing on their lap. I think is a really big one. And they're not afraid to go out and do those things, which might be the third one. Third point is not being afraid to be rejected. I think that's one of the really big things for people that last a long time in sales and who make money consistently. They've either learned to like just completely go against the grain of how they're naturally wired, or they've learned to deal with it. So some people, I know for me, when I first got into sales, I did not look forward to taking calls. I didn't look forward to outbounding between deals because I knew that I was going to get rejected. I knew that I wasn't going to close a deal. I knew that it was just going to be a waste, if you will, of energy and time and focus. And then I would feel bad at the end because another human being like cast me out of the tribe, if you will. So eventually that was overcome through a combination of inner work and external work, right? The inner work being figuring out where your own value comes from, how it's not tied to your performance, your achievement, all that kind of fun stuff. Rewiring, getting rid of all the old patterns in the nervous system. But then also number two is the external work of just learning the tactics, learning to get good enough at sales so that people realistically don't tell you no. And when they do, you know exactly how to turn it around into a yes. So I think the combination of those two things is what killed the fear of rejection, if you will, and therefore the fear of actually doing the activities that make you money in sales, which is just talking to people.
Now, if you're in sales and your income goes up and down like a fucking roller coaster every single month, and it feels like a casino, like you never really know what you're going to make next month, and that anxiety, that stress just gets you, I get that. I have lived that in my entire first year in my career in sales. And I struggled until I figured out that the one skill that I really needed to be successful at sales was adapting my communication and my process to each individual prospect that I ever spoke to. But that took me years and over $1 million invested into coaching and mentorships and learning in order to even figure that out and fully learn it and actually master it. You see, I learned that most average salespeople sell the same exact way to every single person, but the ones who are really successful, the ones who make 30, 40, 50K every month for years on end, actually adapt their process to understand the person who's in front of them and sell to them the way that they want to be sold to. They simply read the person in front of them. They understand how that person thinks, how they buy, how they make decisions, and what they need to hear in order to do so. And they just simply adapt, and it works every single time. That is what we call adaptive selling. And that is a skill that turns every cold lead into a closed deal. And once I figured that out, I kid you not, my income skyrocketed. It doubled month over month for the next year straight. And that skill is why I created the Black Belt Closer. Here's what some of my students have done with this exact approach. Ahmet went from inconsistent 5K months to over $30,000 in just 20 days of working for a month. Joe went from 10K a month as his top month as a closer to consistently making 30K a month for the next year straight, and then becoming a sales coach and making 80 grand the very next month. Oscar went from inconsistent 5, 6, 7K months, even his top month was a 10K month, to consistent 20K months and even a $32,000 commission month on the way. That was the biggest income month of his entire life. And one of his best friends, Brody, who also signed up, went from, he was doing anywhere between 5 to 15K a month consistently to 25K a month consistently, and his top month being $29.3 thousand in commissions. And he even made upwards of $9,000 in commissions in a single day. Velko is another example. He consistently makes $45,000 to $50,000 every single month and has been for almost the past year. Ethan, same thing. He started with zero sales experience. He was brand new and he went from zero to $20,000 a month consistently in just a year. And Vince made over $12,300 in commissions in his very first month as a closer, even as a brand new beginner. Renee went from closer to sales manager and even sales director, hitting 20 to 30K months consistently for 6 to 12 months. And these guys and the thousands more that I've coached on this exact adaptive selling system prove that it works. And once you learn it, you can finally stop hoping that the right person just magically shows up on your call, hoping the right person is fed to you like a baby bird from marketing, which, let's be real, can go up and down every single month. You never know what the fuck's gonna happen there. And you can start adapting your process in a way that you know for a fact will work for every single person that you call, every single person that shows up on your meetings, and finally start making consistent money in sales every single month, month after month, year after year, like clockwork. And you can do it no matter what offer you're on, no matter what happens with marketing, and without even having to change your selling style that you're used to, that you've paid thousands of dollars to learn and probably thousands of hours to practice. The freedom that you got into sales for is finally here. Click the link down in the description below in order to see if Black Belt Closer is the right fit for you.